Welcome back to Food with Life.
And what about other illnesses? Cancer and all these other things.
I gave a...
Immunology, the body's ability to push away disease.
Well, you see, the immune system responds when it interprets something as foreign and dangerous. But GMOs, by definition, have something foreign, and every single study that looked at immune system responses properly showed an immune system response. So now we have autoimmune diseases. I gave a lecture at a medical conference called GMOs, Inflammation, and Autoimmune Disease. We filled an hour of slides of studies and interpretations showing how these particular crops, when fed to animals, caused inflammation responses, immune responses. And some of these studies were government-sponsored studies. So we believe that GMOs are a major contributor to many of the serious problems which have been on the rise since 1996. But how can you tell? You see, there's no post-marketing surveillance of the population, no human clinical trials, hardly any long-term animal feeding studies. The companies themselves do rigged research, and many of the approvals are based on assumptions which have already shown to be untrue.
So, how can we do something? There are many people that are environmentally conscious, not only external environment, but the internal environment. How can we do something? Apparently there's administration and government is locked solid in this biotech thing going on. How can we turn this around? What did you suggest?
The best way to turn this around is by creating a tipping point of consumer rejection against genetically modified foods. Now this happened in Europe. Within a single week, virtually every major food company committed to stop using GM ingredients. And that was at the end of April of 1999. And that was because of a single high-profile GMO food safety scandal, where a scientist who had been gagged and unable to speak about his research was ungagged, and 750 articles were written about it, and everyone got the clue that GMOs were dangerous. But it wasn't reported in the United States. Now, in the US, we've been educating consumers about the health dangers of genetically engineered bovine growth hormone, which is injected into cows to increase milk supply, but increases a risk factor for cancer in the milk. And as a result, Walmart kicked it out of its brands, and Dannon and Yoplait from its yogurts, and Starbucks from its stores. In fact, most of the top 100 dairies have kicked out milk products that use RBGH, or bovine growth hormone, because of our coalition's consumer education campaign.
Collective influence.
So your audience, if they become clued in to the dangers of GMOs, they can go to NonGMOshoppingguide.com and get a shopping guide and see what products are GMO and what products are non-GMO. They can make healthier choices for themselves. And we think that when about 5% of US shoppers stop eating genetically modified foods, that's all we need to create a tipping point.
Yes.
Because GMOs give no consumer benefits. They're either poison producing or poison drinking. And so as soon as they start dropping the market share of these major companies, they will do what they've already done in Europe and Japan and simply replace their corn and soy ingredients with non-GM corn and soy. And they will eliminate all the other genetically modified inputs.
So we think our audience should watch and consider making a difference in their lives, in their body's lives, and in the life of well-being, enjoying being happy and all this, without getting very much into sickness and illness. So we strongly encourage our audience to think twice about buying your food and reading the labels, and that's something we'll talk more about when we are in our kitchen food segments. So I want to thank you again. We'll see you in just a few minutes in the kitchen. All right?
Very good.
Thank you, Jeffrey Smith, our wonderful guest, genius and wonderful spokesperson on GMO. Stay with us.
This is Food with Life.